I'm going to show you the exact way that you can get more wellness website traffic. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down a website strategy that a solid amount of wellness, holistic, and alternative medicine business owners are not taking advantage of. Now, wellness businesses, a lot of them struggle to maximize their reach and capitalize on their entire local market by not understanding the three main awareness levels of consumers. A couple situations that you may have encountered up to this point is you've invested a ton of time and money into your website and online presence, expecting to attract a ton of potential customers. However, month after month, your traffic doesn't seem to really drastically improve. Or unfortunately, you realize how life changing your wellness offerings can be for those having a hard time with their health. However, your online presence and reach, it seems pretty limited to a smaller customer segment instead of a broader audience who, quite frankly, really needs your help. And this one is by far the most frustrating that I hear is when people say that customers have mentioned to them, oh, I didn't know anyone in this town offered this, or I didn't know anyone in this town did these kinds of services for people. That's by far the worst one. And then really no matter how clearly you communicate what distinguishes your wellness offerings from maybe a different kind of local wellness business, prospects who could really benefit from your business, they seem to gloss over your services because your website copy, which is basically a fancy word for the words within your website or specific page or piece of content that they find in the search engine result pages, it doesn't really resonate with them based on where they are within their health journey. You're probably sitting there wondering, who am I? I only help local holistic wellness, alternative medicine / biohacking businesses in regards to implementing strategies that boost their local search engine ranking. Now, it's a lot easier to understand how to rank higher on Google when you have someone and their team who only concentrate and focus on keyword and content strategies related to just one sub industry rather than attempting to become experts in a ton of different categories. Now, I'm not knocking on other kinds of companies, or there's nothing wrong with larger companies who serve a broader range of health related industries. However, their solutions most of the time reflect that generalized approach. An analogy here that I like to use is it's as if taking generic weight loss pills is the best way to do it when you can really implement specific dietary practices to improve the gut, maybe use an infrared sauna to burn some calories and detoxify, or combine that with cold exposure therapy to boost metabolism and burn brown fat. Now, this is what not to do. Do not assume that all of your potential customers and prospects understand why they're experiencing specific health issues. And definitely don't expect them to be aware of all the plausible solutions that they can actually start to do to fix it and feel better. Example, if somebody is struggling with depleted energy, it's not reasonable to expect all potential local customers to be aware of the fact that red light therapy stimulates the mitochondria where ATP is produced. Another example is if an individual is having a hard time losing weight, is it reasonable to expect everyone to know that an infrared sauna can burn over 500 calories in a 30 or 45-minute session? No, it's really not. Now, why you should not be doing this is think about the amount of people that have absolutely no idea that infrared saunas, cryotherapy, red light therapy, neurofeedback, ionic foot baths, etc., even exist, yet alone can improve their lives. Now, some of you might offer all of those services or only a few, but you kind of get the gist with what I'm saying there. And when you neglect optimizing your website for these different consumer segments, you are doing your business a disservice. I'm going to break it down for you of a couple of the reasons. Again, I didn't list everything here, but these are some of the main ones. Your messaging and wording is not going to resonate with as many people as possible. You're going to miss out on establishing brand credibility and trust with larger consumer groups. Because when you show expertise across different awareness levels, you show your business as an authoritative figure that can successfully and has successfully guided people in their health journey. And you're taking away from your ability to transition a customer from an early stage to a later stage in terms of awareness. And you're also going to be taking away from your conversion rates, and you're not going to be maximizing your client retention. Now, what's going to happen if you continue to neglect this? You are unfortunately going to have higher KPIs. And what I mean by KPIs are key performance indicators. So when you're only structuring your content and keywords to cater to those who are aware of the health benefits of infrared sauna and some of these other things, you're going to have a higher cost per lead, a higher cost per acquisition, and you're not going to be maximizing your bottom line revenue. And keep in mind, it's not easy to regain an edge in terms of competitiveness within your local area from one of your competitors who's been doing this stuff for years or even months. Now, what you should be doing is you need to be optimizing for the three main wellness awareness levels. Before I go on, I just want to explain who this is definitely not going to work for. It's not going to work for you if you lack patience or if you have unrealistic expectations. The reason being is there's various things that come into play when improving local SEO. For those of you who don't know what SEO means, basically it's search engine optimization, which is a fancy term for how good is your business at showing up high on Google. That's basically what it means. And seeing drastically improved rankings, it takes time. Now, the three target segments that you need to understand is first, you have those that know they have an issue and are pretty aware of the different kinds of solutions. So, for example, if I'm having a hard time with energy, I might have already heard a friend talking about red light therapy, infrared sauna, cold plunging, which is great for, metabolism, or maybe I saw a video on Instagram. You kind of get where I'm going with this. And then second, you have those who know they have an issue but have no idea how to address it. And third, you have those that are not really aware that their current lifestyle is causing any health issues that are probably going to need some solutions down the line. What happens when you start optimizing for these three main groups of customers is it allows you to position your services to meet prospects wherever they are in their health journey, not just on a couple segments of prospects. And as you resonate with self-motivated individuals by offering relevant information, two, when you inform people who feel unwell but don't understand why with more in-depth explanations, maybe some videos. There's a variety of ways that you can go about that. And three, when you open the eyes of unconcerned consumers by bringing to light some resources that they didn't know were even important to their health. When you do those three things, it allows you to maximize your traffic, leads, and clientele within your local service area. Why this works is it works because you reach a wider range of potential customers because you have more tailored messaging when you craft content and messaging and copywriting specifically for consumers at each level by educating those who, as I said before, are not aware, and then when you resonate with those that already have some awareness. And again, you're going to build credibility and trust here. It might seem like I'm harping on some of these things over and over again, but I just want you to realize the power of making this a part of your online presence strategy as a whole. And this allows you to target high value customer segments, specifically those people that are very aware and they've shown interest in the space. So I'm not going to touch on this example in depth, but I just want to give you, some background about the thought process here. So when you retarget people who have search intents that conveys that they know what some of these solutions do and what they are, you can then retarget them with local PPC ads. That's one example. And you can increase your ability to upsell and cross-sell people successfully, because when you provide a stepping stone in terms of services or just information, you can guide people that are less aware into maybe more aware, which allows you to maybe sell them a higher ticket package, for example. And you are 100% going to increase your lead conversion rate. So for those of you who don't know what a conversion rate means, let's say 100 people visit your website and 10 people take some kind of action, that would be a 10% conversion rate. I want you to think about a customer who's landing on multiple content pages within your website, maybe as they do different kinds of searches, or maybe they're landing on all those different pages as they navigate within your site because you offer so much information. They're going to be a lot more likely to take action when they really feel that they're being spoken to. And a couple indirect benefits include having more internal backlinks, higher number of pages per average website visitor, and a longer time spent on your website. Those last two are some metrics that the algorithm within Google looks for when they're thinking, what business should I rank above another business? Now, I have a separate video on some more website metrics that you should be aware of in terms of optimizing your business to show up higher on Google. You can check that out in this playlist. So I'm not going to touch on that too much in this video. And you're really, quite frankly, going to improve your retention over a longer time frame. And when you implement, targeting these three kinds of people, you're going to be more flexible and you're going to have the ability to test specific content layout and structure so you can see what's resonating best with each unique target group or segment. I want to give you an example here because you might be wondering, how the heck would I do that? Let's say you have a piece of content that is having a high bounce rate, or maybe a lot of people are exiting your website from that page. It's probably going to tell you the first thing they're seeing is not what they want to see. So then you change creative, H1, and you go from there. That's just one super, quick example. And then this one's the most important, is you're going to have lower KPIs. You're going to be paying less per lead, paying less per acquired customer, which is just huge. That's why you're in business. Obviously, the passion is to serve people and make them aware of the power of your wellness offerings and services. However, you got to put food on the table. You got to feed your family. So that's really the most important thing at the end of the day. Now, what you want to do is understand and research what keywords are getting a high volume in terms of the search intent relating to the three different segments. And then you need to implement a hybrid model approach. So what I mean is striking the right balance of content that satisfies the various types of keywords and elements like H1, H2, H3. And how you do this is when your hybrid strategy is targeting keywords that is not very competitive, somewhat competitive, and highly competitive. It allows you to get the best of both worlds. Now, you need to be putting out content on a weekly and monthly basis. You can't expect to have some awesome pieces of content that, are getting more clicks over time for a specific keyword or service that you offer and then just stop there. It needs to be constantly putting out content because Google loves to see what websites, what businesses are putting out content the most. And then most importantly, test and optimize your website structure based on site metrics. I touched on this a little bit, so I'm kind of just recapping with that. Now, you have a couple of options, and I'm going to be blunt with you. It might come off a little brash, but the reason I'm going to say it this way is because it's super important that at least you're aware of a potential solution that you're not taking advantage of, rather than going through your day-to-day and thinking you're doing everything you can to maximize your website traffic. You're doing everything you can to get more clientele. You're doing everything you can to grow your business, because there's nothing worse than being unaware of a solution. It's a classic saying when, people say, would you want your best friend to be honest with you or tell you what you want to hear? Again, we're not best friends. Whoever's watching out there, we don't know each other, but you get the point here, right? So really, it comes down to three different options. You can shoot me a message if you want help from people who really understand the wellness industry and only work with holistic businesses, or you can go with another company that might not fully specialize in the biohacking space and see if they can provide you with the results that you want to get for your business. Or third, you can keep doing what you're doing and see if anything changes. Now, I really hope that this is speaking to you in terms of where you're at with your business. And don't hesitate to drop a comment if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to shoot me a message. I have my socials linked in my YouTube bio. Please reach out, drop a question if you're having a specific issue on a certain topic. Really whatever it has to do with customer management, sales, marketing, drop a comment. Let me know. I'll make some content on it. But if you want help ASAP in terms of growing your wellness business, shoot me a message and we can have a great conversation. I also have a link in my bio, in my YouTube bio, that links to my website. So I appreciate your time watching this, and take care and have a good one.